Most people know how the Titanic met its tragic fate, but almost no one knows why it was built in the first place, not just as a ship, but as a symbol of pride, power, and ambition. Behind its construction lies a bold gamble, a ruthless rivalry, and a dream so massive it defied logic. And it all began years before the iceberg ever appeared. The year was 1907. The world was shifting, rising empires, steamships, and industrial might. Across the Atlantic, two shipping giants were locked in a fierce battle, the White Star Line and its rival, the Cunard Line. That same year, Cunard stunned the world, unveiling two ships, the Lusitania and Mauretania, the fastest ocean liners on Earth. White Star could not compete in speed, so they made a different, riskier decision. If they could not be the fastest, they would become the most luxurious. At the center of this bold shift was one man, J. Bruce Ismay, chairman of the White Star Line. Ambitious and proud, Ismay dreamed of a ship unlike anything the world had ever seen. He partnered with Lord William Peary, head of Harland and Wolff shipbuilders in Belfast. Together they envisioned a trio of ships, each more massive, more elegant than the last. Thus the Titanic was born, not just to transport people, but to carry an idea that Britain ruled the seas, that wealth and class could rise above all, that nothing, absolutely nothing, could stop her. Construction began in 1909. This was not just engineering, it was a spectacle. Over 3,000 workers, more than 46,000 tons of steel. 3 years of labor. The Titanic's hull was fortified like a fortress. Her interiors rivaled the finest hotels in Paris and London. She had chandeliers, Turkish baths, a gymnasium, a grand staircase, smoking rooms, reading rooms, a floating palace. She could carry over 2,400 passengers, from the wealthiest aristocrats in first class to the poorest immigrants packed in third. But amid all this grandeur, there was one fatal flaw, and it was not in her steel. In the rush to dominate the Atlantic, corners were cut. Only 20 lifeboats were installed, enough for barely half of those aboard. But no one questioned it. After all, she was unsinkable. The world watched as Titanic prepared for her maiden voyage, a monument to ambition, floating proudly toward history. What could possibly go wrong? The Titanic was ready, the champagne was chilled, the passengers were boarding. But not even her creators could imagine that within days, this ship would go from a triumph of engineering to the greatest maritime disaster in history. In Episode 2, we board the Titanic and witness her final moments of glory, the calm before the storm. Subscribe now and do not miss what really happened next on the Titanic.